Recruiter here, the Headless Headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a Java backend developer. So what we're looking for in a Java backend developer is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful APIs, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, Cloud, architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, and extra credit for Kafka, Full Stack, Agile, CI/CD, Hibernate, DevOps, and Docker. Also probably AI, it's just popular, so, that's also probably going to be a bonus. And this person has a terrible ratio. So I'm expecting this resume to be an absolute garbage dumpster fire. So what a ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Anything below one interview per 50 applications is solid. That's actually pretty good. Anything above that and you're starting to get bad. This person has over 150 applications to interviews, so I'm expecting this to be very bad. So can I find all of this stuff in 20 seconds, which is how long recruiters have? Let's find out. And oh my gosh, what is this nightmare of a formatting? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. What? Why would I care about this? This doesn't count. Okay, Spring Boot and Kafka, good. What? Okay, AWS, no, AWS SES. Okay, that's an almost instant rejection. This is an absolute nightmare. This is one of the, I will say this, most resumes used to look like this a couple of years ago. Like 4 or 5, I should say. This is a nightmare. This is absolutely a garbage resume. All right, what did you write to me? You wrote, people reaching out to me on LinkedIn, and then when I share my resume, I am ghosted. Yeah, what is this? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me break this down for you. First off, your resume should not look like any of this. This is a nightmare to read. Remember, we got 20 seconds, and we cannot find anything in that time. Your resume needs to look like this. This is basic, this is boring, and this is ugly, yes, but this gets you interviews. This is how to do it. It's on my website. The link is below as well. It's free. You can find it. This is how your resume needs to look. So that's the only thing I'm going to mention that deep on formatting because, oh my gosh, this entire formatting is a nightmare. Now, first off, this does not matter. Again, cannot use anything in a professional summary or skills section. The only time you will ever need a professional summary, and again, you don't even want to put professional summary, you just want to state it, you don't even write anything else, is if you're relocating, because that would be a yellow flag you need to explain, if you need to explain how your visa works, or if you're changing industries. And by changing industries, I don't mean going from like a software engineer in medical to a software engineer in tech. I mean, if you're a wind farm engineer and you're trying to become a, let's say, software developer, so those two things would be switched, right? That's when you actually need a summary. Otherwise, you don't need it. And I cannot use anything in the skills section. I also cannot use anything here. So is it true that you wrote the right keywords, Java, Spring Boot, REST API? Yes, but again, they are here and they cannot count. So the reason recruiters are not looking for keywords, and the reason we don't call them keywords, we call them qualifications, is a qualification is not just a random word, right? If I just see a random word there, I cannot move forward with it unless you show me where you did it, which is why skill sections don't count, how you used it, and the reason or result of you using it. And that's why this doesn't count, is you did not show me how or the reason or result. I need to see it here. And then we go into your actual bullet points, and these are terrible bullet points. Not even counting the formatting is like, why do I care that you configured a custom web client with 100 milliseconds TCP and 300 seconds read-write timeouts, implementing reactive web flux retry mechanisms, reducing API latency from 10 to 3, and achieving 100% success full with retry calls with structure logging? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for this. I will challenge you to find any single job description that tells you, hey, you know what I need? I need someone to improve the throughput by 40% and configure retry logic. They're not. That's not what they're asking you for. It's because the purpose of a resume is not for you to impress me. You will never impress me on your resume. All right? I understand what you've done, but if you're trying to impress me, you have failed because I just don't care. I care about how you did the minimum basic qualifications. That's why AWS would have counted, but you put SES because it may not. Now, it's entirely possible that I may be missing a specific thing of AWS, which is likely, but if Java and JavaScript are wildly different, you cannot make the assumption that the person reading your resume knows that AWS is the same as AWS SES's cloud. If you just had AWS, it would have been better. It's still a garbage formatting because no one would have got this far down, but because you can't read it. But that's what we need to do, right? That's why there's RESTful APIs. I cannot use REST APIs because I don't know if that's the same as RESTful APIs. And again, 1,000 engineers are going to come in here and say, well, how could you not? How could you not? Again, Java is different than JavaScript. That is one of the first things you need to learn as a tech recruiter to not lose any credibility with, the engineers, is you need to know that those are different things. And if Java and JavaScript are different, then by that logic, Spring and Spring Boot are different. So is REST and RESTful APIs are different. So is AWS and AWS SES is different. So I need you to make it clear and blindingly concise, the basic qualifications, because that's what we're looking for. Your next question is, how do I stand out? You don't stand out in the resume. You never stand out in the resume. If you stand out in the resume process, you get rejected. You stand out in the interview. Your resume's only goal is to showcase you meet the minimum qualifications to move forward so that the recruiter or hiring manager can move you to the first technical screen where you can then demonstrate how good you are. So this is why people are messaging you and then ghosting you is A, they're jerks. They should still decline you, at least give you notice, but is because they see on your LinkedIn, oh, Java engineer, I'm looking for a Java engineer. Oh, I see Spring. And then we actually get to the resume and we see none of it. That's particularly why. This is why skill sections don't count, is it shows up here, right? It'll show up in a Boolean search, which is how we find engineers and everybody else, but it's not here, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to need you to redo this whole thing. Just burn it and start again, okay? I need you to focus on the bare minimum qualifications, which is going to be like this. Now, you have more experience, so maybe as a lead engineer, you would want to put a little bit of leadership, but otherwise, most job descriptions are not asking for a bajillion things. They're asking for a couple of really, really specific things that people refuse to put on because they try to impress us. That's why, stop impressing us. It's just going to lead to failure. So, if you ever need more help, you can always stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. That is where I get these qualifications from. That is where I help people out a little bit more. So please like, comment, and subscribe before we go to the next resume, and, send this to your friends who need help getting a job. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software developer. So what we're looking for in a full stack software developer or full stack engineer, 1,000 different names, but full stack, is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I need to see that first. Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then any of those, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, DevOps, and AI. AI is very popular, so, it's a bonus. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Okay. JavaScript, HTML, good. Okay, that's okay. SQL and Git is not bad. That's okay. So this is a case where I want a little bit more. I don't think this is bad. I think you have some of the stuff here. But let me read what you've been writing. I mean, a big thing is there's no AWS down here, and that it's just kind of bare bones, and there's no TypeScript. TypeScript is pretty important. This person is also in chat, so after this I'm going to go back with them and discuss how to fix it. But they say they've been unemployed over a year with 800 applications. This is their rewritten resume. So I will say you should be applying to more than 800 in a year. The ratio, you should be doing about 50 apps a week, but looking at this is the problem is this is almost too bare. I know people say you want them to add more, and then you tell them out. It's it's still, I don't need to have a story, but I need to know more what you did and what the company did, right? Use JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, good, to create front-end dashboards for customer service reps to service accounts for our X and Y. right? That's the part. I don't really know the reason you did that. I need a little bit more detail. Maintain C# API linking dashboards to backend services. Not on its core bad, but again, I would like a little bit more than just that. Like maybe, you know, along with React or Angular or Next.js or whatever. So again, it's not terrible, but I need a little bit more. Develop SQL storage procedures to fetch and manage account information for customer teams. Again, not bad. I just need a little bit more, because if we look at this, right, let's see what we've actually got. I'm going to take it away. So we have that. Good. We have the, well, let's see is going to count as .NET. That's fine. And then we have, I don't have RESTful APIs, but I do have regular APIs. And then I have Git, which is a bonus. So I still need TypeScript. I found the degree. That's fine. Node, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, and then let me take away SQL. So, and again, I'm assuming you have this because you don't have it here. That's fine. And then we go down here and it's solid. TypeScript, React, and JavaScript. Okay, good. And JavaScript, but that's kind of it, right? Like, again, this is on the edge of moving forward. Where's Agile? Where's CI/CD? Where's cross-functionally? Where's GraphQL? Where's Next.js? Where's Angular Node? Where are RESTful APIs? So what I do want you to do is also down here is, this is fine, but you could just put HTML and CSS here, right? Like this is the kind of thing. It's not terrible. It's just kind of threadbare, and I need a little bit more about what you did. So, like, manage GitHub projects and, oh, there's Agile. Blah, missed it. Environmental integration, automated testing, continuous deployment. That should be CI/CD, right? Just put CI/CD. That's what it goes by. But why did you do that, right? Like, why did you do that? What was the point of doing that? And it's also possible the recruiter may not know that is the CD part of CI/CD. But I need to know why you did it. Like, why was it important to get this for customer teams? So you've got the bones right, again, and your formatting is fine. I just need a little bit more. Actually, your formatting is almost fine. If you notice, this looks a little different than this, so there should not be any space between those, and it should be a 1.5, but there should be no space between these. There's too much space between these, and there's too much space between these. Again, not the worst. It's just I need a little bit more. It should not take you too much to fix it. So now that you're in chat, I'm going to go in and help you even more. But for everybody else, next resume. This is a resume of a AI engineer. So what we need in an AI engineer is kind of a lot. Usually it's sort of broken down into different stuff. Unfortunately, like maybe it's agentic, maybe it's ML, maybe it's more traditional generative AI, which is also both some of those and none of those. So we want to see AI, LLM, NLP, Python, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Cloud, NumPy, R, MATLAB, SDLC, DevOps, and then one of these, and probably a little bit more, like RAG or ML or LangChain or Skibidi-learn or Pandas or agentic. Honestly, we probably want to see LangChain and LangGraph regardless. And then most importantly, how you explain stuff to non-technical people. Everybody misses out on that point, and that's actually really critical. So let's see if we can find what we need in 20 seconds. And go. I hate this formatting. Okay, so you did graduate. Okay. AI, got it. I don't know if multimodal is needed. Maybe that could be. And then LLM, and that's all I found. Increase client satisfactions, C#. What? Why do I care about that? All right, yeah, nothing. I mean, I found cloud out of the corner of my eye, but no, you said AWS-based microservices, not AWS. So again, could be different. Java is different than JavaScript. So yeah, there's like not anything here. All right, what did this person say? They said nothing. They gave me a job description? What? Yeah, they gave me a job description. Okay. So let me use their actual job description they gave me. Although, again, you should be making it based on multiple, not just the same. And the only thing I really found here was, again, cloud out of the corner of my eye, but it didn't say AWS. It said AWS base, so could be different. You cannot make assumptions. and AI and LLM. I don't see anything about Python or anything. Again, this doesn't count. But your formatting is a nightmare. Man, these are some I don't know if there's been this bad of formatting in this many resumes in the same episode before, but these are some really terrible formatting. So, use this format. Makes sense, easy to read. So, what did you write down? All right, let's see what they were asking for, which is, yeah, actually pretty close to what I said. I think this role that you asked me to look at was specifically full stack, so they have a little bit of front end, but otherwise this seems solid. So 3 years of research in applied ML. I actually don't see anything that shows that you're a machine learning engineer. Again, I can hear your comments screaming at me, but you need to be very specific. You need to say machine learning, ML, parentheses, and then tell me how it is. Otherwise, if I make an assumption and you go to the interview and you had none of that, I am going to get fired. So, Python, I see nothing about Python. Where's anything about Python? Again, doesn't count in that section, doesn't count in that section, doesn't count. Skill sections don't count, have to put them here. Okay, so no Python. I'm going to assume you don't have enough Python experience. Let's see, JavaScript, maybe that all the way at the bottom. Nope, didn't have that. Nobody's going to see that. TypeScript, maybe. Again, all the way at the bottom. Nobody's going to see that in a blank skill section. You need to show it. So you are already wildly unqualified for the role you sent me. And if you're starting to say, well, hold on, it's implied that I am going to stop you right there because you can't imply it. You have to be explicit. That is one of the biggest things I can convey to you. So, Hugging Face. Did you have anything? No, nothing from Hugging Face. What about OpenAI? No, nothing. What about other LLMs? Again, I don't see it. The only thing I saw about LLMs was like down here or something. A solid understanding of front end. So again, this is a full stack role. React. Nope, nowhere. Again, cannot use it. If it's there, has to be here. So I need you to burn this resume and start again, because it needs to read like this. And while the last resume I reviewed did not have everything I needed, it was easy to find. And it does not need a ton of work for the last resume. It's literally just going to be like maybe 30 minutes of work. This you need to burn and start again. I need you to remember I have 20 seconds. I need you to know that this is how I need you to write it. And I don't care about 92% feedback and reducing processing costs. I mean, I'm hunting for these roles right now, and I'm getting engineers interviews for them. And this is not what they care about. This is not what they're looking for. They're not looking for 20 features and whatever in technical debt and 50 plus APIs. They're seriously looking for like, bro, did you use LangChain and LangGraph to make an agentic agent that communicated across multiple companies? Or Python developer that has used Django and LangGraph and LangChain and RAG to create X and Y, right? Like, that's what they're looking for. This is nothing. Nobody's looking for this. This is why you're not getting any luck. Even the role you said, even the role you sent me, this is what you sent me. You have 0 of these. You need to make them basic and simple. This is why you're getting rejected. Let's go to the next resume. This is a software engineer. What kind? I don't know. They didn't tell me. So remember, software engineers divided into stacks. So I'm going to roll a D6, not a D20. And whatever it lands on, that's what I'm reviewing this as. Are you a backend Python dev? And I'm reviewing it as a C#? Well, tough. You didn't tell me. You need to tell me. 5. So I'm reviewing this as a front end dev. If y'all want to see the proof, I like dice. Dice are cool. All right, so front-end developer. Let's pull this up real quick. And what we're going to be looking for in a front-end dev, at least in the United States. I am a US-based recruiter. Other countries' recruitment stuff I'm not as aware of. So, JavaScript, React, Angular, JS, HTML, CSS, PHP, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, Git, Docker, Jira, Node.js, Vue, Next, and any extra languages, Cloud, UI, UX, SAS, TypeScript, or WordPress as a bonus. So let's find it in 20 seconds and go. Okay, can't use anything here. Okay, React, good. Figma, maybe for front end. UX, okay, good, and UI, and then Git. That's actually not bad. I need more. Next.js, TypeScript, no, and that's it. So I found 3 things-ish, give or take, 3 to 4 if I'm being charitable. Also, I looked at this, it said full stack. There's nothing here for full stack either. So what did this person say to me? They said, about to start the job search. Well, you picked a terrible time. So remember, we're approaching the end of November and December where recruitment shuts down hard. It will open up in January, so don't panic if your new resume gets absolutely nothing. It's normal at this time of year. But your problem is if you're going for full stack, I need different stuff. So you actually had a little bit of what I needed for front end, which was good. But if you're going for full stack, I need more, right? So again, where's your TypeScript? I think I actually saw TypeScript. Yeah, TypeScript's here. Why do I have to go all the way down here to find the very first thing that I need? So again, you need to delete this. Also, apparently you didn't graduate? Oh, yeah, you did. All the way down here. 2027? Bro, you are applying for jobs a little early. I know some companies have like entry-level positions up to 9 months in advance, but we're in 2025. You're like a year away from even beginning to apply to those rare companies. Wow, but it should also be up here too. Again, so fix your formatting. Delete this because none of this is needed, and then actually put what I need in the first part, because TypeScript is what I need. Next.js I do need for TypeScript, and Docker I do in SQL, but like nothing else. So this is the problem of like, this is a front end dev, and this is why you had some of the stuff here, but this is why you need to be very specific about what you're looking for, is because if you notice, this is the full stack. This is the front end, and you did have some of the front end and some of the full stack, but you did not have enough of both for me to move you forward in either of them. So you may want a front end resume and you may want a full stack resume, but you definitely need to fix the formatting, and you need to add more stuff here because there's just not enough, right? It's not bad. It's because it could be a lot worse, but you need about 75% of this to move forward, and I found maybe 30 to 40% if I'm being nice. So that's the only thing I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a full stack developer position in the UK, which, to be clear, I am a US-based recruiter. These are mostly accurate, but they may be some differences. So let's see if I can find what I need. And in the UK specifically, we need TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Java. Java's pretty popular over there. Spring Boot, microservices, Python, Django, or Docker, basically either the Java or the Python stack. Node, Angular, Next.js, SQL, React, APIs, REST, Git, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD. So that's mostly what we're looking for. Let's see if I can find it and go. All right. Okay, React, good. JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, good. This to teach students about work market. Okay, this is too long of a sentence and too much unnecessary information. Node and Express, AWS. Again, you already mentioned AWS and Node already, and I think that's it. So this is not a bad resume. I could actually probably go a little bit more with this, which I see CI/CD out of the corner of my eyes. But there's a lot of fluff in this that we need to take out. The core is here. I don't think it's going to take you an incredibly long time to do. But so the first thing is, why do you have a CompTI here? I don't know if that's actually needed. CompTIs are usually more for, at least in the US, it could be different in the UK, more for help desk and that kind of stuff. So I don't know if you actually need to include the CompTI. Then we get down to here, and the problem is it's just too much, right? There's too much stuff. Like built-in EdTech SaaS platform, good. I don't care about called, though, right? Like I don't care about called, but I do care about this part because at least it tells me what it is. It's a SaaS platform. So platform, this can be deleted using React, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. The problem is you said Tailwind CSS and not CSS. Again, if Java and JavaScript are different, Tailwind CSS and CSS could be different. They're like not, but still, you can't write that, all right? To give students a more responsive web app, this part is fine. I don't need this part. And then you get to here with marking with AWS, Bedrock, LLMs, and knowledge base. I don't know if this part is needed, right? Where teachers can set, like, this is fine, right? Responsive web app for teachers. That's good. But I don't know how AWS is there. And is this the same type of AWS LLMs they're looking for? I don't know, but it could be deleted. Then design and ship RESTful APIs, good in Node.js and Express.js, good on AWS. Perfect. Class management, submission, great workflow. See, again, here, this is a little too much. Like, I want to know what you do, but I don't need to know, like, all of this. Like, you could just say to handle class management for students. That's fine. I don't need necessarily AI grading workflows or storing files or metadata. I do want to see MongoDB, though. And you also mentioned AWS 3 times in this bullet point. That's unnecessary. So what did you write to me? They're also in chat, so again, I'm going to help them out after this. Okay, so yeah, that's all I really know so far, which maybe they mentioned something real quick. Okay. Implemented role-based for... Again, there's so much fluff with this. So, in fact, did I even find everything I need, right? Let's double check. So, TypeScript good, JavaScript good, HTML good. We don't have CSS, again, because it could be different. We have CI/CD good. We have AWS for cloud. That's good. But I actually don't see Java or Python, which is a problem, because you still need one of those, which seems to be the case. Probably more Java. So yeah, you only have JavaScript, so that's actually a bit of an issue. Maybe microservices otherwhere? No, nothing. Let's see. Node we did find. That was good. And Angular, I believe. No, I didn't find Angular. Next.js. Okay, again, it's all the way down there. People are probably not going to get that far. So, SQL. Did I actually see SQL? I don't think I did. So, there, yeah. Oh, no one's going to go all the way that far down. So, yeah, and Agile? Did I find Agile? No. So, again, it's not like this is a terrible resume, burn it. I don't want to say that because that's not true. But you are missing some stuff. And it does look like you only have about 50% of what we're looking for, not 75, which is the break point. So, I'm going to need you to take out the irrelevant information and the repetition of some of the, like, cloud primarily. And I'm going to need you to put in more of this stuff that's relevant. And I know some of it is probably down here, but you've got almost an entire page of this when there's really only like 30% of what I need here. So again, you need to be very specific with what your resume has in it, and you need more of what is relevant and less of what is not relevant, like the CompTI. Again, maybe it's different in the UK. That's entirely possible. I am a US-based recruiter. Things are different across the pond, but I'm going to hazard a guess that a CompTI network security is not useful for the vast majority of full stack roles in the UK. So that's all that I can do with this resume. Thank you all for watching. If you ever need more help, feel free to join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And, I look forward to seeing you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search.